the death of a loved one. For they that remain, the wounds grow deeper and deeper. They that remain grow weaker and weaker, an agony incomparable, their hearts in bondage. Who is the one that remains? And who is the one who departed?
I don't want to be left alone again. A long time ago, she died and left me alone.
You can't just leave me!
Will you be the one to die this time? Is that truly acceptable?
No! Wake up! I won't have it! You want to forget? Would you forget me too, Platina?
Lucian?
How is choosing a servant any different from picking a flower?
Aren't you just a death goddess?
Was I picking souls as though I was picking flowers? What is a Valkyrie? Am I merely a death goddess? You cannot possibly believe that love can exist between humans and gods.
You really don't have any idea what you are, do you?
Where is Loki?
You're going to go after him? Open your eyes, Lenneth. You will lose everything.
Curse you! I can't die here! Valkyrie!
This is impossible! You creatures are but slaves of the gods!
Very well. Let us go. Silmeria.
If I had not sacrificed the Philosopher's Stone, I would have been consumed in the orb's final flame. I paid a high price, but life can indeed be expensive. But it was quite interesting. Valkyrie's transformation has taught me everything. Now I have the confidence to realize my greatest dreams and ambitions. Mine is the only soul not controlled by Valkyrie, although she has captured my soul in a different way. Ultimate power will be mine! I swear it!
This was unforgivable!
Two years ago, we talked about Valkyrie Profile in 2 videos. In the first one, I showed you how to play the game by trying to ease the barrier of entry. In the second video, we took a deep dive into its story. We learned about Lenneth, the gods, and their selfish agenda, and how we, the player, alongside Lenneth, discovered the truth and saved Midgard from its internal torment. For this video, I want to mix it up a bit. I want to talk about Valkyrie Profile 2 as a whole. We'll discuss its general gameplay loop, combat, and other mechanics. From there, we'll move on to the story, where past questions are finally answered. For your convenience, everything is divided into chapters, so feel free to skip around if you wish. Lastly, this video is not spoiler free. We're gonna talk about and spoil everything. But first, I want to get some housekeeping out of the way. I did my best to play this game on original hardware, but my first disc was scratched up and I kept getting this error 404 loading message. And then I bought a second disc and same thing happened again. So I figured, screw it, and decided to emulate it. And while emulation is easier nowadays, VP2 it still has some minor issues. One time I got this hilarious bug? Glitch? Something? I'll just show you. It also crashed a few times too, and I lost some playtime. I had to go back a couple of hours. I won't lie, the crashes freaked me out, so sorry, but I did use a few save states too. So if you see some weird graphical issues, widescreen issues, some ghosting, well, that's why. And the widescreen stuff is mostly at the beginning of the game before I fixed it, so it shouldn't be a big deal. But anyway, let's not waste any more time and get started. Just like VP1, the majority of the game takes place in Midgard, but set 200 years before the first game. So in other words, it's a prequel. For now. The gods are still abusing their power, but everything is shown much more vibrant and peaceful this time around. Just look at this comparison between Coriander from VP1 and VP2. So it appears as if most of the destruction we see in the first game hasn't taken place yet. Speaking of which, most of the towns we explored in VP1 are back. What we do get this time around are like new dungeons and a couple of other new locations. To continue, let's discuss the main cast. We'll get into the more important story elements later on. First, we have Alicia and Silmeria, the main characters that we play as. Let's start with Alicia, the princess of the Pan. She's very shy and reserved, but kind and selfless. While she appears rather naive in the beginning, she truly cares about people and her comrades in arms. Nothing beats her determination to do what she believes is right. Alicia has had Silmeria's soul living within her since she was very young and has never known a life without her. Lastly, since Silmeria resides within her, Alicia also has Silmeria's combat capabilities, powers, and can also summon Valkyrie, which leads us to our next main character. Silmeria is the youngest of the three Valkyrie sisters. She's also the most rebellious of the siblings, which leads her to disobey Odin after witnessing his treatment of humans. As punishment, he banishes her soul into Alicia to remain dormant while Hrist takes her place as the current Valkyrie. But she unexpectedly awakens and can now communicate with Alicia while trapped in the princess's body. She can sometimes take over Alicia's body and speak through her. So in a way, we're actually playing as both Alicia and Silmeria. While Silmeria is also battle ready and can be kinda stern, she still shows compassion to her Valkyrie. Instead of sending them to Valhalla, she revives them as their past human selves, giving them the opportunity to live out their lives as mortals with their loved ones. We'll talk more about the Valkyrie in just a little bit. Next up, we have Hrist, the oldest of the three Valkyrie sisters, intelligent and merciless towards her enemies. She is very loyal to Odin and self-justifies her actions with said loyalty. Despite these characteristics, she does have an empathetic side towards her Valkyrie. One quick side note, if there is one thing I do like about the way the Valkyries are portrayed in these games, they don't see the Valkyrie as slaves or just plain old warriors. They respect them, and while they can be stern towards them, you can tell they care in an almost motherly kind of way. I don't know how they are in actual Norse mythology, I'm honestly no expert. But again, I do like the portrayal in these titles. If anyone watching this is a Norse mythology expert, let me know in the comments if it's the same or if there's like some sort of differences here and there. Our next character is Rufus, a skilled archer and magic user. He's both cocky and witty, and sometimes won't hold back from throwing out a sarcastic comment or two. Like Silmeria, he has a personal resentment towards the gods and wishes the world to be freed from them. Now let's talk about Dylan, the only Valkyrie in the main group. 150 years ago, he was a loyal knight of the Pan and was chosen by Silmeria to fight by her side. Dylan is determined and fully dedicated to the protection of both Silmeria and Alicia. Our next character is Leone, a mercenary during times of war and treasure hunter during times of peace. She joins the party and becomes a sisterly figure towards Alicia. We'll have a lot more on her later on. Leone also has a partner, our best boy from Valkyrie Profile 1, Arngrim. Just like Leone, he becomes dedicated to Alicia's cause and joins the group. Just don't call him a grave robber. He takes offense to that for some weird reason.
I've been a bandit and a pirate, but nobody calls me a grave robber.
Alicia's father, King Barbarossa, also plays a large role in this game. Being aware of the gods' mistreatment towards humanity, he has dedicated most of his life's work towards making the kingdom of the Pan independent from the gods. Speaking of the gods, let's talk about Freya. What was it that I said in the last video about her? Freya is such a fucking hypocrite. Oh yeah, I remember now. And let me tell you, much hasn't really changed. Fucking Freya's still a fascist. Still mommy. Still a bigot. You'll see why later. Odin is also back. Still obsessed with being an all-powerful being as ever. Odin is searching for the Dragon Orb, and finds out that Silmeria is actually awake in Alicia. As such, he orders Hris to bring her back to Asgard to suffer the consequences for her disobedience. And lastly, we have Lizard Valeth. Yes, the creepy son of a bitch 4chan user is back. This time around, he's a new apprentice of the mages of the Pan, but his lustful desire for Lenneth hasn't changed. He's a party member this time around, but trust me, he becomes much more than that. Now I know I'm missing like 2 or 3 key characters, but don't worry, we'll get to them as they become relevant later on. But I would like to discuss the Valkyrie real quick. For a quick reminder, and in case some of you are wondering, Valkyrie are warriors that died bravely during battle. One of the Valkyries' main tasks is to recruit said warriors as soldiers for Asgard, serving the Valkyrie as their leader. This time, finding them works differently. In the previous game, recruiting them almost felt episodic. In VP2, Silmeria already recruited her Valkyrie, and they all live within her soul. But to be awakened, you have to find it's kind of like a weapon or an artifact in a dungeon and materialize them so they can join your party. What's cool is that some weapons you find in dungeons will house 1 to 3 Valkyrie, and depending on RNG, you'll only get one of them for your entire playthrough. So it incentivizes other playthroughs to get different characters. What's even cooler is that some Valkyrie know each other, and if you use them in battle, they'll talk to each other.
Hey, we're together again, just like the old days.
Yes, like the old days.
Hey, sister!
Not a word of reproach? You haven't changed.
At the time, it was kind of a pain, but now look at me. And thanks to you, I get to be reborn young.
It's been a long time, Adonis.
What a fool I was, to think I served someone who was so weak. It's you. I made a mistake last time. Never again.
I beat you because of the vagaries of fate. Who knows what would happen if we did it over?
My only gripe is that since it isn't episodic like VP1, the Valkyrie feel a little less personal this time around. You mainly learn about their backgrounds by reading their profiles in the in-game menu. And don't get me wrong, the stories are very good and interesting, but again, just feels a little less personal to me. Now let's jump onto the general gameplay loop. Valkyrie Profile 2 is more linear than its predecessor. Just like in VP1, the game is divided into chapters, with VP2 having 6. But this time, we're not hunting for a true ending or anything like that. Although, I did check online and apparently there are 2 endings, but they're not so different from one another, and one I believe is obviously canon, but we'll discuss that later on when we get to the ending of the game. Like the first game, exploration is conducted in 2D, but unlike VP1, the backgrounds aren't pre-rendered. Instead, we get full 3D model environments. Dungeons have the same function as the first. You got your battles, some platforming, puzzle solving, etc. Now, while researching for this video online, I did see that some people are kind of divided on how the storytelling is done. VP1 wanted you to pay attention and really hunt for the true ending, whereas Valkyrie Profile 2 has a straightforward story to tell, which in my opinion is fine. While it lacks the immersion of the first game, I think one of the main goals is to answer questions from the previous Valkyrie Profile, and it accomplishes that. And either way, the story is very, very good. As stated earlier, the game progresses in 6 chapters, and I have to say, the first 3 chapters work very differently from the last 3, so let's start explaining the gameplay loop with the first 3. To summarize, the party is in search of the Dragon Orb. For those who don't remember, the Dragon Orb is the artifact that maintains stability in Midgard, and without it, the world begins to deteriorate. Now in the first 3 chapters, to find the orb, you're going to go from town to town and dungeon to dungeon, gathering info from the townsfolk to open the path forward. There are also side dungeons with other side quests to accomplish. Basically, you talk to the appropriate NPC and the side dungeon opens up. There are also other quests that can happen in the background, like this poem you have to read to get a special accessory in chapter 6. These pets can give you animal poop for another accessory later. So there's quite a few side things to do within the first 3 chapters. Chapters 4, 5, and 6 are mainly for storytelling. There are some side stuff you can do, but again, they mostly serve to drive the story forward. Now with VP1, even though it's been a couple years since I played it, I can honestly say that I kinda sorta mastered it. Some combinations were still pretty hard to execute, but yeah, I got the general gist of it. So Valkyrie Profile 2's combat must be the same, right? Right? Okay, it's actually good once you get the hang of it. Returning from the first game, our characters being assigned to the face buttons. PWS attacks also come back, but they have a better name. They're called Soul Crush this time around.
Now is the time. Finishing strike. Viva la Velocity!
The same magic spells, learning the right attack combinations to maximize damage, so on and so forth, that's all back. The general format of combat, however, has changed quite dramatically. Instead of a 2D battlefield, we get a full 3D battlefield that we get to freely move around in, which adds more strategy into the mix. You can assign a party leader and even divide into 2 teams, a blue team and a red team. It can be teams of 2 and 2 or 1 and 3. One team can act as a distraction, while the other team can interact with the environment or attack from afar. This meter you see right here on the right, that's a timer. The faster you finish the battle, the more experience you get. Remember the charge time meter from VP1? Well, that got replaced with the ability points meter. Attacking, using spells, consuming items, and using other actions drains the AP meter, so you have to manage it according to the situation. Walking refills the meter, and pushing down on the left analog stick also refills it. The opposing enemies are usually spread around the battlefield. You can kill all of them, or you can attack the leader and finish the battle right there on the spot. Everyone else will just run off. They also have these red indicators that show where the next attack will take place. If the indicator is faded, you can walk through it, but if it's flashing, then stepping into it makes the attack happen. Now, don't hate me, but I do have some personal gripes with the combat. Is it fun? Yes, but in my view, it's trying to do a lot without focusing on one primary area. It's kinda turn-based, but not. Monsters only move when you move, so it's pause and play, but not. It wants to be more strategy focused, but many times the best course of action in most fights is to move behind the enemy and attack from there so you can avoid most of the frontal attacks. So it ends up becoming more of a cat and mouse situation. I had more fun when the battles required more strategy to progress. To be fair, the combat is still immersive and fun to get into, and while I think it's very ambitious, I can admire the developers for giving us something new. Before moving on, there are a couple more things I want to get out of the way first. Remember in VP1, you can learn and assign skills via a capacity point system? Well, it's back, but I'm not really a fan as to how it works this time around. First, you get skills added to your list by leveling up, and on Heria come with one inherent skill, so it gets added to everyone's list automatically. But you don't learn them on the spot, which was expected. Skills are mainly discovered via a rune system. In short, when you equip gear, you have to use a combination of runes that are assigned to the equipment, and the color has to match too, those being blue, red, and green. Colorless accessories don't teach anything, but they just give better bonuses. When you equip the right combination, you start learning the skills from battles. Interesting? Sure. However, I just find it a bit too complex for simply learning a skill. But that's not even the worst part. You learn skills through battle. Simple, right? However, learning skills takes forever, because the way you learn it depends on the average level of your party and opposing enemy's level. In other words, if your level is too high, then you earn fewer points. I mean, look at this. Out of 100 points, I got 2 points. 2, because my level was too high, which means what? I'll have to fight 50 times to learn this particular skill? Here's the thing though. The game encourages you to grind via farming. In order to find equipment with the right runes, you have to farm monsters because many of the runes you find are from the accessories that the enemies drop. Shops sell very minimal accessories. They will only sell new things if you buy with a certain amount of cash, sell the materials you get from monster drops, and even then, most new runes are still mainly found from enemy drops. Thankfully, once you find the rune and the right combination, you don't have to discover it again, unless it's in another color combination. Additionally, enemies don't just drop accessories. VP2 has another mechanic. You can attack limbs, so maybe one leg will drop one piece of loot. Maybe a tail? Maybe the head? Who knows? Sometimes you need to attack limb by limb to see what they drop. Thankfully, many attacks show where your character hits, but it also depends on where you're positioned. Mind you, this is all RNG still. Sometimes you won't even get anything, and some limbs have really good rare drops.
Demon Heart! Further the source of its power!
Dark Savior!
The RNG gods smile upon us.
Now just imagine something for a sec. Imagine going into this blind. You want to be prepared because this isn't an easy game, and you don't know what's coming, so you want to learn a good number of skills. So, you're gonna grind, and you're gonna level up. It almost feels like the game it's kind of like punishing you for being thorough. I went into this game blind at first, but I had to look at a strategy guide afterwards. I even checked to see if maybe you can get an item that increases capacity points, because in VP1 it had the Emerald Necklace. Nope! I actually found this old game FAQs forum, and it advises to kill off your other 3 party members to earn more capacity points per character. There was another forum that said to just bring maybe 1 character to the battle at a time. I'm sorry, but I was not doing that. I don't mind grinding in games, but it's kinda asking for a lot. Okay, so one last thing with the cons, and then we'll move on. In this game, you get 2 types of party members: story characters and Untitled. Now, as a veteran JRPG player, I'm expecting main party members to leave, but this game takes it to another level. Almost every main character leaves at some point. Some come back, but most of them take off for story reasons. This is a bit of a double-edged sword, because if you spend time leveling them up, you're kinda screwed. It's best to pick a party with your Untitled. On the somewhat bright side, if you took the time to level up 4 of those main characters, they'll leave behind very powerful, almost game-breaking gear. Although I say somewhat bright side, because to get said gear, 2 of them need to be at level 40 or higher before the end of Chapter 3, and the other 2 need to be at 45 or higher before the end of Chapter 4. And considering that these are some of the starting chapters, grinding to those levels will take a lot of time. I found a couple of exploits online with a couple of bosses, but it will still take a hot minute. Now I will say this much, I do like the way the game's mechanics feed into one another. Farming for loot feeds into getting ingredients, getting runes, which in turn feeds into getting skills. It's just your primary resources are patience and time. These mechanics can definitely work, and they do. I just think it needed some time for polish. And in all honesty, these really are my only few nitpick and gripes with the game. There is one mechanic that I thought was absolutely brilliant. Seal stones. Basically, seal stones are dungeon modifiers that you can collect to give you and the monsters buffs and debuffs. Almost every dungeon has a few of them. At first, you can only carry 1 at a time, but do a couple of side dungeons and you are awarded to carry up to 3 or even 4 at a time. These things are game changers. In summary, you find them in dungeons, and if you take them to a location called springs, you can bank them to summon them in future dungeons. With the right seal stone setup, you can change an entire boss fight. There are these spots called dais, where you can place seal stones and it'll affect a specific area within the dungeon. Place it near a boss and hold onto some for buffs, and you gain a crazy advantage. I have never seen a mechanic like this before, and let me tell you, it is very addicting. Despite its ups and downs, Valkyrie Profile 2 tells an amazing, heartfelt, and exciting story. One of the best that I have personally ever experienced. Like I said earlier, the player's engagement with the story is more lenient than the first title, but that doesn't mean that there aren't interesting tidbits to dive into.
Danger.
From what? You can't tell?
How do you know?
I don't sense anything.
If she says we're in danger, we are.
He's right.
Open your eyes, Alicia.
Run! Escape from the castle! This way, quickly.
Hurry! Quickly! I know. Don't rush us.
Over there!
Silmeria, return at once.
I won't. I won't return to Valhalla.
You'll disobey Odin to your last breath. So be it. But be warned, Japan will not be spared.
Thank you. There's no going back now.
Let's go.
Many generations ago, Silmeria was the awakened Valkyrie and performed her task of recruiting on Valkyrie. Remember that only one of the 3 Valkyries can be awakened at a time. After witnessing Odin's mistreatment towards mankind, Silmeria sided with Brahms, the leader of the undead, and rebelled against Odin. As punishment, Odin performed the Sovereign's Right ritual and banished Silmeria's spirit into Alicia's body, and assigned Hrist as the new awakened Valkyrie instead. The Sovereign's Right is supposed to put Valkyries to sleep, but something went wrong and Silmeria remained conscious in Alicia's body. Ever since then, Alicia had like a dual personality. Silmeria always spoke to Alicia about her past, and some of the Pan's history as well. Alicia's father, King Barbarossa, started noticing these changes. At first, he thought it was just the characteristics of a child, but as she got older, she started repeating past battles of the Pan that she shouldn't know about. More so, when Silmeria's soul inhabited Alicia's body, it gave her the ability to use the powers and battle skills of a Valkyrie, which Alicia sometimes demonstrated. Barbarossa soon learned that Silmeria was residing inside Alicia's body and realized that this was a secret that he could no longer keep from the public. He declares her dead and sends her away to a remote castle. Fast forward to the opening scene of the game. Odin finds out that Silmeria is awake and orders Hrist to bring her to Asgard. Silmeria senses the danger and warns Alicia to run. And as far as I can tell, the other voices speaking to Alicia are Silmeria's Valkyrie. They successfully escape and make their way to the port town of Solde, where Silmeria has a new plan and Chapter 1 begins.
Is this the harbor of Solde? To think that Japan is only a short journey across the sea from where we are.
That's why we're here. To go to Japan.
What?
You must return home. We have to tell the king to prepare for war immediately.
War?
The gods will launch an attack on Japan, just to lure us out.
A war? Because of us?
That's his way. Odin's way.
But my father will never listen to anything that I have to say.
Then I'll make him listen. I won't tolerate the arrogance of the gods, let alone some kings.
I really don't want to go back to Japan.
How could you say that now? What did we leave the castle for?
I thought it was to run away.
Where?
Someplace far.
Naive. Hrist will follow us wherever we go. She'll kill you just to summon my spirit back to Valhalla.
Just because you're also a Valkyrie?
Yes. It is forbidden for two Valkyries to exist upon Midgard at the same time. And I have several Einherjar with me. Odin would like them transferred. Even though I exist only as thoughts in your soul, I am violating the laws of the gods. Remember, we are in danger.
I know already!
We need to prepare ourselves before heading to Japan. We might have fighting ahead of us.
But I can't fight! I told you before, it's way beyond me!
Then we'd better find companions who can.
Who?
Don't worry about it. Just do as I say for a while. Now hurry to the docks.
Liner service canceled today. All departures suspended due to an accident. I've said it 1,000 times. There are no plans to resume service.
Give me a break! You mean there are no other ships?
No means no!
This is the work of Hrist.
So, what should we do?
She may be lurking nearby. First things first, we have to get out of here.
Should we wait somewhere until they start sailing again?
We don't have time. We'll use the underground path.
What underground path?
Hold on. Talk to the man over there, and ask him to come with us.
Which man?
Who else could I be talking about? That guy right there!
Why him?
Ask me later. Just go.
I can't.
Just go and ask him!
Huh? Can I help you?
I, know a great way to reach Japan, and if you wouldn't mind coming with me?
Why me?
Forgive me. I did not introduce myself. I am Alicia, Princess of the Kingdom of Japan. I am concealing my identity for a reason. It is imperative I return to Japan immediately. I am in need of an escort. Seeing you unfazed by the commotion, I could tell you were a man of great caliber. Of course, you will be adequately compensated. Will you accompany me?
Sounds fair.
Then follow me. The rest should be easy. Don't tell him more than he needs to know.
Yeah.
Now there's a couple of things I want to point out. First, Silmeria's attitude, I'm not gonna lie, kinda makes me laugh, especially at this scene, where she's kinda like, "What do you think I mean? The obvious anime main character." Speaking of characters, the details and the character designs are very impressive. They still have that Baroque look from VP1, while still having some PS2 anime vibes to them. And the graphics in this game, simply gorgeous. It was released in September of 2006. Keep in mind that the PlayStation 3 released in November of the same year, so developers were most likely more capable of fully using the PS2 potential, and VP2 really shows it. Before heading to the forest, Rufus confronts Alicia, but Silmeria temporarily speaks to Alicia and puts Rufus in his place. Here we see that sometimes Silmeria can actually take over Alicia's body when needed, but only for a short period. Kinda makes for comedic dynamic between them sometimes. Alicia and Rufus head to the Lost Forest, which leads them to the underground path towards the Pan. Alicia and Silmeria demonstrate some of the Valkyrie abilities and summon an Untitled for the first time. While traveling through the underground path, there are 2 more Untitled we can find, but more importantly, we experience some of Alicia's tormenting past and meet our second important party member.
My Einherjar.
Stop. Midgard is in trouble, right? I'm ready to go with you.
So your body is strong enough?
As is my soul.
That's good.
Dylan.
Welcome.
Are you sure you know where we're going?
I've been checking our path by reading psychic energy present in objects along the way. I know where we're going.
What are you talking about?
As a main character, Alicia has some of the best development. She's shy, reserved, and we can see that she was sent away at a very young age. Basically growing up alone with barely any loved ones with her. Yet throughout the story, she gains more courage and is selfless almost the entire time. Dylan is also an important character. He fought by Silmeria's side for a long time, but also serves as Alicia's protector. And trust me, other than these characteristics, Dylan becomes much more later. When we reach the end of the Royal Path, we're introduced to our first boss battle. This is where we learn that Alicia's dual personality also has a small but nicely detailed mechanic.
Such armor, but it may be thinner at the back.
When most boss battles begin, Silmeria will give Alicia hints saying how to progress in the battle. By the way, you can repeat some boss battles to farm for accessories and some level grinding. After disposing of the Guardian, the group finally reaches the Pan. Rufus tells Alicia that she must be a Valkyrie because only they can summon Untitled. He then accuses her of being a spy for Odin, though Silmeria reassures him that her motives are the opposite.
Hold on! I'm not saying I don't believe you. Just tell me one thing. What will you do when you meet the king?
I'll assess the king's sincerity, then prepare Japan for war with the gods.
Count me in.
As shown in this scene, there's more to Rufus, something that will be revealed to be of great importance later. While exploring Japan, there's a sense of peace in this beautiful castle town. The music further exemplifies this emotion, but also gives a sense of despair or dread in the air. When the group enters the castle, Alicia realizes that Silmeria is not responding to her, but they still need to figure what Japan is up to, so Dylan suggests that they investigate the underground areas of the castle, only to discover that the king has been experimenting with the undead to create an army against Asgard. In addition, they find out that Barbarossa is studying the Dragon Orb, and is also searching for it. In this scene, we meet Dallas, one of the younger members of the 3 castle mages. Man, his character model looks awfully familiar. Unfortunately, the king also arrives and strikes Alicia, saying that his daughter is no more. This girl never catches a break. Barbarossa orders the party to be arrested, but they barely escape. Afterwards, a familiar face stands in their way.
Silmeria, now do you see? You needn't even encourage them. Japan is fully intent on fighting Lord Odin. They'll even use the Dragon Orb, a forbidden act.
Yes, forbidden for humans and gods alike.
Silence, mortal! You will speak when I ask you to. But if Silmeria refuses to respond, I have no choice. Sacrifice Japan, or see all of Midgard annihilated. It's up to you. You are worthy indeed, mighty warriors. I will take all of you together with me to Valhalla.
Japan does not fight because it wants to. Odin's tyranny leaves Japan no choice but to take up arms.
Don't be a fool. You've been poisoned by mortal arrogance. The peace and prosperity of Midgard exist because the gods wrought law upon the land.
I recognize the feats of the gods, but that time has passed. I have not been poisoned. Now the gods take and give nothing in return. Humans do not need them. Why won't you help save Japan? Help save Alicia.
Think like a Valkyrie. Do not concern yourself with a single country or one mere mortal. We cut down the weeds of dissent before they grow out of control. It would appear I underestimated you. But in the end, you stand to gain nothing from this.
By the way, you can steal her sword. While escaping, the 2 mages alongside with the castle guards attempt to capture the party, but then another familiar face shows up and teleports everyone to safety.
And you are?
Lizard. Lizard Valeth, at your service. I had been assisting the 3 mages in their research as an apprentice.
I'm sorry, but why did you rescue us?
I thought you, Princess, could put a stop to the King's dangerous research.
Could you tell me more about this dangerous research?
The King is seeking to transcend this mortal coil by creating a closed timeline. A new world tree stemming from neither the heavens, the underworld, nor the world of mortals. In other words, independence from the gods.
That is beyond transcendence. What he seeks is a power possessed by Odin alone. Is that why they need the Dragon Orb?
That was their conclusion, following countless failed experiments on elves and the undead.
Damn.
So Japan alone would break free from the laws of nature and enjoy eternal prosperity.
I myself found it absurd, Lady Silmeria Valkyrie.
So you know of me?
Just what Dallas told me.
It is said, the Dragon Orb has enough power to set the whole world aflame. Even gods are powerless before it. The King's plan may be feasible.
You're not thinking of finding the orb for Japan, are you?
For Japan? No. For all Midgard. I will find the orb, and Alicia shall be the guardian. That would put an end to the King's dangerous research, would it not, Sir Lazard?
You are everything I had hoped you would be.
The oath I swore to Japan still holds.
You say that now. But maybe you'll just take the orb and run to Odin.
Well, if that's your theory, then come along and keep it from happening. But if you aren't sincere about fighting Odin, you won't stand a chance.
I'll show you sincere.
Okay, hold on. Now that is a dramatic voice change that I was not expecting. Kind of funny how he went from this?
Yes! Ultimate power will be mine! I swear it! Ha!
To this.
You know your lore.
Now pay attention to what the king wants to do here. He wants to use the Dragon Orb to create a new world independent from the gods. This will be important later. But because of the king's reason to find the orb, the group decides to find the orb themselves because if used incorrectly, the orb has the power to destroy the world. Afterwards, the group sets out and Chapter 3 begins. Now that we've established the beginning foundation of the story, I'll summarize Chapter 3 by talking about the characters. Since this chapter is very long, this is probably the best way to go about it. In Chapter 3, you basically go from town to town and explore dungeons looking for the orb. But I think the hunt is not the important part. It's the characters and their interactions within this chapter. In short, Rufus reveals that he's half-elf and was chosen to be Odin's vessel, and the ring he wears prevents him from aging so Odin can inhabit his body whenever he wants. Removing the ring causes a great deal of pain and his soul will disappear as punishment. And Lazard? He's surprisingly more charming than I expected. Shady, but still charming. He ends up becoming the brains of the operation and sometimes even the moral support. Still a fucking creep though, you'll see. It's also in this chapter where we meet Leone and Arngrim. Arngrim and Dylan start with a little animosity towards each other, but end up getting along. Basically what I'm trying to get at is that even though most of the group has a stake in this endeavor, they grow together, almost becoming like a family. They even joke around and laugh sometimes. It's very endearing. But there's one more character I need to mention, and I'm going to spoil something important, but trust me, it'll make sense. You see, Leone is actually Hrist, and don't worry, the game doesn't do too much to hide it anyway. She still wears the same early 2000s Hot Topic purple gear like she's going to an Evanescence concert. Also, the voice is the same, the face is the same. It's basically another Clark Kent isn't Superman because of his glasses kind of thing. However, Hrist is basically using Arngrim and the group to get closer to the Dragon Orb. And here's the funny thing, Silmeria knows that Leone is Hrist, but Hrist doesn't know that she knows. I don't know, it's a whole thing. But that's not what's important. What is important is that the plan is kind of backfiring on her. Something is happening that she didn't expect. She's spending and enjoying time with humans. More importantly, she's spending time with Alicia and Silmeria. There are moments in Chapter 3 where we see Hrist comfort Alicia, almost as if she was her little sister too. Silmeria even opens up to Leone, saying this must be what sisterly love feels like. I don't know, I think it's both nice and sad that we get to humanize Hrist a bit. She finally gets the chance to be a part of something close to a family. She finally gets to talk with her sister, even if it is brief. But it's also sad because we can tell that she's conflicted. She must have been indoctrinated by the gods for centuries. Yet it's these moments that matter more for her. It's these moments that make her care for once. And again, I don't know, I guess I kind of feel for her. I'm not saying it excuses all of her past actions, definitely not. But it does show that she can be a better person if she didn't have the influence of the gods. She can understand that family matters more than power. Even if it is just a family that she recently discovered. Like I said before, Chapter 3 is very long, but if VP2 surpasses VP1 in anything, it's the characters and their dynamic with one another. But unfortunately, this doesn't last long.
Leone!
The orb belongs to Odin. Don't make me kill Alicia!
So it was all a lie.
If I don't stop the orb from falling into hands of fool mortals, things will be far worse.
Is this what you warned me about, Silmeria? I'm sorry, I should have realized.
Leone, what are you doing?
Hrist Valkyrie.
So you tricked me!
Be thankful you could assist in the gods' plans.
Thankful? Stop!
No, wait!
Ever think before you act?
When I know my boss is gonna wrong me, I don't hesitate to write it. That's the mercenary way.
Arngrim, come with me. That will be your reward.
You kidding me? Why would I go with you?
We will take Arngrim. You can subdue his flesh by force, but you won't be able to bind his spirit.
Lenneth might agree to that, but I take my orders from Odin and no one else.
You know the Einherjar who rebelled against Odin still opposes him as one of the undead.
Because you let him get away with it, Silmeria! I'm not so soft that I can't handle one mercenary. You'd best return to Valhalla quickly, before you incur Odin's wrath.
Stop it! No!
Hrist has unfortunately betrayed the group, stolen the Dragon Orb, and made Arngrim her Einherjar by force. Silmeria admits that she knew that Leone was Hrist, but decided to play along because she wasn't strong enough to confront her. Either way, Lazar suggests that the party head back to the Pan to help with the upcoming war, and now Chapter 4 officially begins. As we make our way to the Pan, we find Ol, one of the Aesir tasked with looking for Silmeria and guarding the entrance to the Pan. But as soon as he sees he's talking to a human and not Silmeria, he becomes a dick and demands to speak with Silmeria and not some human. Needless to say, thanks to all my grinding, he just died in a couple of turns.
Finishing strike! Your way only leads to darkness! Viva Langolesti!
Is it really defeated?
As we enter the Pan, the group arrives too late. The kingdom is in shambles, and the king is to be executed for going against the gods. If you played Valkyrie Profile 1, then you'll recognize this part. During Chapter 6 in VP1, Lenneth travels back in time and sees these events unfold. Only this time, we get more context. Before the king is executed, the group steps in and tries to stop it, but are interrupted by the castle mages. This boss battle is a little funny, because you can actually silence one of the mages into not using magic. Unfortunately, despite their efforts, the party is unable to stop the execution, and the king is beheaded, right in front of his daughter. The mages betray Hrist and choose to be undead instead, making Dallas an undead as well. Before fully turning, Dallas, the younger of the three mages, and Alicia's childhood friend, tells Alicia the truth. Other than trying to free the Pan from the gods, the king wanted to learn the Sovereign's Right ritual, to free Alicia from Silmeria and sacrifice many of the citizens for his research. Barbarossa wanted her safe from the gods, however, he also wanted her safe from the knowledge of everything he has done. So Dallas suggested that they send Alicia away. In other words, the reason why Alicia was sent to Remote Castle, it was actually Dallas's idea, not King Barbarossa. Dallas, becoming fully undead, escapes forever, leaving his childhood friend behind. However, despite everything, Silmeria suggested they continue to fight for the Pan, but first Alicia insists that her mother be found. Before arriving at the royal chambers to find Alicia's mother, Lazard makes a suggestion. Rufus is half-elf, therefore he has the potential to become a god himself, and might be the last resort needed to stop Odin. Silmeria agrees, but reminds the group that the idea itself is still a speculation. Without further proof, the party continues to look for the queen.
Who?
Her Majesty has taken her own life.
Damn, this girl really can't catch a break. She really has lost almost everything, but before she can even mourn, Hrist arrives with Arngrim to challenge the group one last time.
Was it you? Did you do this?
I would have, but she died before I got to her.
You're a murderer all the same!
Believe whatever you like. All is as Lord Odin wills it. What's wrong with gods reincarnating souls?
Why? Why do you side with her?
The bottom line is that I work for Odin now. A conscience is a luxury I can't afford.
You traitor!
What could the few of you ever do?
It's always the same with you. justifying your sins in Odin's name. I'm sick of hearing about the will of Odin. I want to hear what you think.
Listen to yourself. You've forgotten that serving Odin is the substance of our being.
No! Nothing gives the gods the right to toy with human lives!
You seek the ephemeral solace of combat. Then you shall have it. Do you think you can defeat the likes of us?
Now is the time. Finishing strike! Nivalang Balesti! But it worked in practice.
You'll pay in blood. Zone my location. Your fate was...
Now is the time. Finishing strike! Nivalang Balesti!
What the?
I'm not strong enough.
You'll pay in blood. Finishing strike.
It's come to this.
Zone my location. I love the feel of a weapon striking home.
Now!
What?
What is it? The Sovereign's right!
The Lord of the Undead?
Brahms!
Those humans. How could they?
Who will the Lord of the Undead side with?
It's my turn to save you.
Behind you! What?
Okay, hold on. I know what you're thinking. Let's get the first thought out of the way first. And before you ask, no. Brahms isn't Dylan per se. After Silmeria's rebellion against Odin, I think it's safe to assume that Brahms and Silmeria lost that battle. In the process, Brahms was gravely injured and hid his soul in Dylan to heal. While the game never mentions it, my guess is that this is something that Dylan must have agreed to. But more importantly, why is Brahms being crystallized? In Valkyrie Profile 1, Silmeria is the one that was crystallized, not Brahms. And don't worry, we'll get to that. After everything, with the Sovereign's Rite conducted by the mages, Silmeria is now missing, Lazard is gone, and Brahms is now imprisoned by Odin. Odin's original plan was to use Brahms as a power source to keep Midgard stable during the Dragon Orb's absence. Apparently Brahms is that powerful, but Odin changes his mind. Humans now know how to do the Sovereign's Rite, something he doesn't want out in the open, so instead, he'll just let Midgard deteriorate and let mankind die in the process. Something even Freya surprisingly has issues with. Regardless, all that's left of the team is Alicia and Rufus at their lowest spirits. Oh, and you're on Harrigard too. You actually get to keep them.
Where's everyone?
They're gone.
Huh?
What, you missed that part?
Silmeria? Where are you?
I think she was transferred by that Sovereign's Rite, or whatever.
You mean the research was complete?
Yeah. Damn it! Turns out everybody was hiding something.
What about Dylan and Lazard?
I'm guessing the two of them are floating around Valhalla now.
Do you think they were turned into Einherjar against their will?
I don't know. Lazard hung in there, mumbling some spell or something until the end. Guess it didn't work, huh? Dylan looked like he was about to unleash something massive, but nothing happened. Turns out he's Brahms, Lord of the Undead. The skeleton in his closet was bigger than Leone's.
So, what are we supposed to do now?
That's what I want to know! Sorry. Hey, maybe the two of us should go look for the orb. That is, unless you don't think you can rely on me. Let's get out of here.
Sorry.
You go ahead. All right. I'll go first. I'm going after Odin. You don't seem surprised.
Actually, I was going to say the same thing.
Really?
But what
how
should
do we do it? I'm going to the top of Yggdrasil. I'll attain the knowledge to become a god there. You know it, right? The tree of creation for all the realms, including Asgard.
Can you really do that?
Even Silmeria admitted it. It's not a fantasy. I'm gonna do it. There was once a time when Odin was a lesser deity. He had the body of a half-elf. I've thought about it for a long time, but now I'm determined to do it. I'm not taking any more of his tyranny!
Neither am I. Let me go with you. I was planning to defeat Odin by taking back the Dragon Orb. But I don't know how. I can't do it on my own. I need you to help me.
No chance.
Why not?
Because humans can't enter Yggdrasil. Sorry, there's just no getting around that.
But I can still project photons.
Even so, you can't read objects, can you? Look, you're a normal human being now. Take care, Alicia. To reach Asgard, I'll have to pass through the gates of Bifrost in the heart of the Forest of Spirits. Why don't we go together? At least as far as we can.
So, I think we can see where Chapter 5 is kinda going. It's mostly about Rufus and Alicia. Throughout the chapter, they start getting closer. It's here that I noticed a couple of parallels with the first game. For one thing, Odin really likes to control people with rings. In VP2, Odin makes Rufus wear a ring that will hurt him if he removes it, but in VP1, Odin gives Lenneth the Nibelungen ring to maintain her seal intact. Also in VP1, it's in chapter 5 or 6 where Lucian and Lenneth have their moment before he gets sent to Valhalla, whereas in this game, chapter 5 revolves around Alicia and Rufus' relationship growing stronger. I'm not saying the parallels were intentional, I don't know, I could be wrong. The plan now is to try to take on Odin head on. To do so, they need to access the Bifrost from the Forest of Spirits and climb Yggdrasil to gain the knowledge necessary to do so. In the Forest of Spirits, I had a lot of fun exploring this dungeon. It's honestly not as difficult as past dungeons. It's got some good platforming sections and the graphics are a sight to behold. When you reach the end, Rufus finds the entrance to the caverns that lead to the Bifrost, but the Aesir are guarding the entrance and start a search for Alicia and Rufus.
I can't.
Hey, it's okay.
I want to reflect on this scene for a second. I honestly feel really bad for Alicia. Despite all the courage that she shows, you can still tell that there's one thing that she fears, and it's to be alone. She fears it so much that she even bruises her hand while striking the wall. This is one of the reasons she's my favorite character in this game. She's not just a one-note personality. She's determined, she shows courage, she shows vulnerability. She's just so well written that you can't help but cheer her on throughout the entire game. But anyway, let's go back to the story.
There's a hollow tree nearby where no one will find you. Come with me. You should be safe here for a while. But you can't stay forever. Once you've rested up, you should leave the forest.
Lady, do you even know who I am?
You're the half-elf, aren't you? The one Heimdall is searching for.
If you know, then why help us?
I suppose I felt sorry for you.
Rufus, after what she's done for us, be polite.
I could, but double-crossers have a way of hiding behind politeness.
Stop that!
What gives some elf the right to pity me?
Please, don't let him upset you.
Please, I only want to know what brought you two here. That's all.
We're going through the gates of Bifrost to reach Yggdrasil. And then, on to Valhalla.
Hey, Alicia!
But that's impossible for a human. Unless that human is chosen as an Einherjar, or becomes one of the undead.
Undead?
If I were undead, would I be able to pass through the gates of Bifrost?
If you were willing to give up your own body, then yes. But passing through won't matter if you end up a demon to the core.
If you take ghoul powder, and we stop the decay just before it reaches your spirit, it might work. You can wear my ring. Time freezes for anyone who wears it. It stops growth, as well as decay.
But Rufus, if you take that ring off...
My soul will only fade away if I'm on Midgard. I won't need the ring once we pass the gates of Bifrost.
Okay, weird plan, but yes. In order to pass the caverns and reach the Bifrost, Alicia needs to be undead to gain access to Yggdrasil. So, it's back to the pan to find some ghoul powder. Kind of a weird way to backtrack, but whatever, I'll go with it. You know, actually, I forgot to mention something earlier. If you explored the Pan Castle thoroughly, you'll find the very familiar room that was also in Valkyrie Profile 1. This will be very relevant later. Going back to the lab in the underground area in the Pan, Rufus finds the ghoul powder. Now they can finally enter the caverns leading to the Bifrost. Before we continue forward, I want to mention that this scene is unfortunately one of the only weaker points of the story in my opinion. Rosalia sacrifices herself to help Rufus and Alicia, and as we can see, the game is trying to imply that Rosalia and Rufus share some kind of connection. My only guess is that she's either like his mother or another family member that he doesn't know about. But as far as I can tell, the game never says anything, and everything within these scenes is shown super quick. I think she had the potential to be a good character, and it would have been nice to know more about Rufus's past. Now with the plan set, Alicia consumes the ghoul powder, puts on Rufus's ring, and you got 8 minutes to run through the ravine caverns to reach the Bifrost. If not, it's game over. Don't worry though, battles don't count. All I remember is that you gotta reach here, you gotta go through here, maybe there, I don't know, I don't remember. But if you reach the end in time, time stands still in Asgard, which means Alicia won't turn into a demon and Rufus won't die without the ring. Good relief after the anxiety-inducing time limit in the dungeon. As you reach the end of the Bifrost, you reach Heimdall. No, not the Idris Elba version. This boss fight was fun, because it's one of the few times it is best to separate your party and have the tanks distract them. But again, after so much grinding, it was pretty easy.
Prismatic missile!
You'll pay in blood. Strike! Don't let location! We're still moving?
Gather crushing ice! Finishing strike! Niva
shall not withstand the force.
After the fight against Heimdall, the game cuts to Valhalla, where Freya warns Odin that allowing Midgard to fall could endanger Asgard as well. But Odin brushes it off and senses Alicia and Rufus entering Asgard. Thus, he plans to take care of them himself. Reaching Asgard means one thing: we're close to the home stretch of the game. But goddamn, let's look at Asgard for a sec. I know, I keep saying this, but I just can't get over how beautiful these environments are. And if you look closely, I believe this is the same area from the beginning of Valkyrie Profile 1. There are plenty of PS2 games that look great, but this game is just jaw-dropping for me. Alicia and Rufus climb Yggdrasil. At the top awaits the knowledge for Rufus to become a god, but Odin is waiting for them. The party is no match for Odin, and an old friend shows up to even some of the odds.
Lord Odin! The distortion I felt! It is him!
Freya!
Wave my command! Upon the loom of fate, blood, flesh, and bone for these souls entwined. Spin me no mere puppet of you!
Soul transfusion. How can a mere mage wield the power of a god?
This is no mere mage.
Silmeria!
Foolish god, blinded by the dragon orb's shine, your grip upon Gungnir fades. That which does not grow falls into decay. The hand worthy of wielding this divine lance is mine!
Okay, time out. In case some of you are confused, don't worry, we're gonna explain everything later.
Silmeria. Father. Rufus. Forgive me!
Hey! Don't count me out just yet. After you promised we'd go to Valhalla together, you're backing out on me?
Rufus? Where are you?
Still alive and right in front of your very eyes. Not that you can see me. Man, I never suspected Lazard had a trickin' store for me this far along. Telling me I was mankind's only hope, when he was really after Odin's spirit.
He was lying to us the whole time.
We can't let this stand. If we don't retrieve at least the Dragon Orb right away, it'll be too late.
Are you going?
What do you mean? What do you think I came all this way for? To save Midgard, of course. We'll just have to let Lazard be for now. Let's just hope he hasn't conquered Valhalla before we get there. Plus, if we can save Brahms and team up, we just might have a chance.
But, Rufus...
What's the confusion? Oh, come on. It won't kill you, you know. You may be human in spirit, but your body is undead.
Ow! I'm so sorry!
Just kidding. Hey, I'm only a soul now.
Ugh.
You did it! It worked!
Really? Where are you?
I'm here, inside. Now, concentrate your mind on the ring. Did you, by any chance, lose it?
I'm sorry.
Well, look for it. It must be somewhere around here.
It kinda fell off.
Fell off? Why didn't you say so earlier? Let's go find it.
Right. Finally.
Okay, let's do it.
Right.
It's strange. It's still too big, but it doesn't look so silly anymore.
That's because it's my good luck charm.
I guess I can't argue with that. I might not have become a god, but I haven't given up yet.
So, what do you say we go to Valhalla?
Right.
Oh, these two. The next stop is Valhalla, but first, while mourning Odin, Freya orders Hrist to save him. But this scene is funny. With Odin gone, Arngrim and the rest of Hrist Einherjar really don't give a shit. They actually want him gone, and hey, I don't blame them. While exploring Valhalla, Alicia and Rufus find Arngrim and offers his own death for betraying them. Alicia forgives him though, and understands that he was just mostly following orders. At the end of Valhalla, we find the chambers that's holding Brahms, the orb, and the water mirror. If you played VP1, you'll recognize this area from pursuing the true ending. Hrist arrives and explains that Lazard, with the power of Odin, he's created his own world. Which, if we remember from earlier, creating your own world can have dire consequences on other realms. Alicia and Hrist negotiate to stop Lazard, but a certain someone ain't having it.
Humans negotiating with gods? Never! You need to be put back in your place.
Man, she really doesn't change much. Everyone wants to stop Lazard, mind you, even Freya, but nope, she's just too cool to negotiate with humans.
I shall light your way to hell. Finishing strike.
the creator's sword that calls eternal sleep. Honor our pact, and hear my command! Animate Earth! This can't be right!
Your corpses shall feed the ravens! Divine assault! Ether strike!
It seems that wasn't enough.
Damn, we should have run instead of getting mixed up with her.
You're mad if you think we gods would stand by while you Einherjar slip away.
Finally! Someone stands up to her, and it's about damn time.
Welcome to the fight. Take care of those two for me.
Hrist! Have you gone mad?
I won't stand by while you gods kill my Einherjar!
Hrist! Stop this!
Huh.
So it has come to this. All I can do is entrust our fate to you. Lenneth.
This time, you really did save me.
You can thank me if you want. But I did it to save the world, not you. It was the best available option.
So, your heart still sides with Odin.
Well... I don't know anymore.
Gods don't belong to worlds. Nor do worlds belong to gods. You are finally starting to realize that.
As if the undead would know.
This is something we should be discussing with Odin and Lazard.
How right you are.
We should go. Lazard must have already moved on.
Is there a reason why we just don't burn this world to ash with the Dragon Orb?
Each time the stabilizing power is used for destruction, the orb grows weaker. If you're willing to say goodbye to Midgard, then go ahead.
Screw that.
I sense Lenneth. But why here?
Hrist really made the word undead sound like a slur. Thankfully, Brahms and Hrist have decided to set aside those differences because Lazard is too much of a threat. But hold on, we're missing one more character, aren't we?
I could sense you back in Japan. Did Freya call you here?
No. I am not the Valkyrie you know. I am Lenneth the Creator. I have come from an alternate future to save my own world. The world after Ragnarok, where Odin is no more.
So, I take it we owe this visit to the time machine in Dipan Castle.
Lezard's visit, not mine. He is a heretic, a man who has come from my time, the future.
I sealed off the machine to keep humans away, but I should have destroyed it.
And thus my world has begun to crumble.
Why is that?
Silmeria. You were supposed to have saved her, but Lezard, of course, got in the way.
What is that madman planning?
I imagine he's attempting to acquire Odin's power and become a god. He acquired the Philosopher's Stone and was the only human to survive Ragnarok. The flow of time is in perpetual flux. The future may be changed, but time is not to be bent to the will of one man. Wasn't defeating Lezard the original reason you came to serve Hrist?
They do not serve me. We joined forces to save Silmeria.
In that case, we should get along well.
Alright, let's discuss this for a moment because this just went off the rails. So first off, obviously this isn't the Lenneth from this game or this time, so to speak. That would be impossible because she isn't the Awakened Valkyrie. Hrist is. This is the Lenneth that we played as in Valkyrie Profile 1. So let's do a quick recap. In the first game, Lenneth finds the Pan Castle, but it's haunted by the ghost of the king. In order to learn more, she explores the castle, but the three mages use the time machine to send her back in time. Why is there a time machine in the Pan? I honestly have no idea. Anyway, Lenneth ends up in the time where the king is executed by Hrist and her Anheriar. But with the help of the queen, Lenneth finds a way back and kills the three mages, freeing King Barbarossa from his eternal suffering. Now let's talk about Lezard and this whole time travel thing. Unlike other media or movies, this isn't one of those different decisions making several different multiverses kind of thing. As far as I can tell, this has one timeline where traveling to the past can change the future. So in the original timeline, Alicia and the party make it to the Pan. The king is executed, and the mages attempt to use the Sovereign's right to transmigrate the Valkyrie souls. Freya shows up and takes advantage of the opportunity and tries to capture Brahms. Silmeria blocks the spell and gets crystallized instead. To protect Silmeria, Brahms escapes and keeps her hidden in his castle. From here we could assume that the Pan lost the war and Odin has the Dragon Orb. 2 centuries later, Valkyrie Profile 1 takes place. Lenneth is awakened, and without the Dragon Orb, Midgard is deteriorating. Lezard acquires the Philosopher's Stone, an artifact that grants infinite knowledge. With it, he learned how to survive events that happened during the end of the first game, and swore that one day he would become a god. After surviving said events, he used the time machine in the Pan and traveled to the events in Valkyrie Profile 2. Because of the Philosopher's Stone, he knew that he would have the chance to steal Silmeria's soul to use as a power source and transmigrate Odin into Rufus. Having Odin's soul in Rufus would make it easier to steal the soul for himself and fuse it with his own body, become a god. In other words, everything he said in VP1 was true. Kinda cool that despite throughout both games we mainly fight Odin, Lizard was hinted to be the overarching villain all along. And now he has created his own world within his tower, causing negative effects in Midgard and Lenneth's future. Caught up now? Good. Now even though I have Anheriar at higher level than Lenneth, you bet your ass I added her to the party, even though learning some of her combos was pretty tricky. Further into the tower, we find that Lizard is up to his old homunculi tricks again, trapping Silmeria's soul in one of them, and in order to get her back, we have to destroy it.
Only I had more
My strength is the sword of the oppressed.
It shall be engraved upon your soul. This will finish it. Take this.
Silmeria, if you're here, answer me. Silmeria. At last we meet again. It's been a while. It's like looking in a mirror. I see you can materialize now. Yes. Alicia, you've changed. Thank you.
We should go. Lizard has already melded Odin's soul together with his own.
So not only has he attained the power of a god, he has become one.
With all three of the sisters finally united, there's only one thing left to do. Stop Lizard once and for all. Okay, there's something I want to get off my chest. You know what? As a matter of fact, screw this. I want to go off script for a second. Okay, sometimes when we interact with media, whether it be books, movies, games, whatever, there are some story elements that, you know, are kind of predictable. There are some things you can expect, but this is one thing I never saw coming. Seeing all the Valkyrie sisters finally together for one last confrontation, just imagine my reaction when I saw this pop on the screen. I was like, what do you mean Silmeria joined the party? I'm not gonna lie, I jumped out of my chair and screamed like a little bitch. Like a little bitch! Mind you, the game gives you Silmeria at level 47. I have Einherja at much higher levels. You think I gave a shit? Nope! Didn't care. I put her in the party right there on the spot. And let me tell you, the Valkyries aren't even with you for that long. It's just for a few brief moments, but man, I love these two games so much. And as a fan of both, these moments, seeing this, matter so much to me. I mean, look at this. It's cool as shit. One of my top video game moments of all time. And let's not exclude Alicia from this conversation either. I know I mentioned her before, but she is one of my favorite characters ever. This poor girl has been through so goddamn much. Lost her family, her kingdom, she's been betrayed, banished, and yet, despite all that, she still fights for everyone. Everyone that she freaking cares about. If anyone deserves the honor to be part of the Valkyrie sisters, it's this inspirational queen. Okay, sorry about that. I just really wanted to get that off my chest. Alright, we're good? Okay, let's continue. Progressing to the top of the tower takes a while, but it's a pretty straightforward dungeon, and again, it's fun to play as the Valkyries. Yet despite all obstacles, the group finally reaches the top with Lizard waiting.
Welcome, my world's first visitors. Will you join me? Will you die? The choice shall be yours.
No god shall kneel before a man!
Blasphemy! I am the inheritor of your fool Odin's soul. I am the creator of this world. I am the absolute entity. I am God. You lesser beings shall bow down to me.
How ironic that one who so scorned the gods now calls himself one. Simply being a god doesn't grant you rule over all. It's not that simple.
Rule over all is but a fleeting fancy. I have but one desire. To rule my beloved goddess. Welcome, my dearest Lenneth Valkyrie.
Pathetic wretch. All this was merely to satisfy your lust.
You have blindly twisted nature and destroyed worlds like a savage. As creator of the world that spawned you, I shall exact justice upon you!
Is it the dragon orb that elicits such gallant prose? Though a divine treasure, it pales in comparison to Gungnir.
Weakling! Our strength doesn't come from the four treasures. You play with fire and you will be burned.
That icy gaze sends chills down my spine. Though you deny it, I rule not only all matter, but time as well. And you are here because I will it.
You know what? At least he's consistent. Rule Midgard? Nah. Rule the realms? Nah. Create a personal world where he's a god so he can finally hit that? Yes. Again, credit for consistency, even though it's creepy as fuck. Thankfully, this isn't the final battle yet, so he's easily taken down.
This was not in my plans.
After the battle, Lazard uses the Sovereign's right to kidnap Lenneth and tries to destroy the other Valkyrie's soul. But Brahms blocks the attack and Alicia crystallizes them for safekeeping. But her crystal form won't last long and they'll disappear soon. But Brahms has another plan.
It's useless. These aren't floating souls. These are displaced Valkyrie spirits that can't escape the Sovereign's right. They will fade away.
So, it's just down to us now, huh?
No. If we regain Lenneth's soul, that will give us a new weapon. Lazard is intent on melding with Lenneth. Before he can do that, I shall become the vessel of the three Valkyries, concentrating their power into one. Only then will we stand a chance of opposing Lazard.
Are you sure that's the only way?
You saw for yourself. We face a god who surpasses Odin.
Let me be the vessel.
Are all of you people crazy?
It won't be the same as sharing your body with Silmeria. All four souls, including the vessels, will be fused to create an entirely new being. Much as I once melded with a man named Dylan and concealed my identity.
I can create the future I want by becoming one with them. If I can do that, then I don't care what happens to me, even if I lose my personality and can't go back.
The strain on your body will be too much. You won't be able to sustain it for long.
Neither can you. You're injured.
When your body fails, the soul will fade.
I don't care.
How can you say you don't care? Please, think about what you're saying. Think of everything you and I have been through to reach this place.
I have. I've been thinking about it a long time. Ever since I was little, I always wanted to be separate from Silmeria. But once it happened, I felt so empty. And that was when I realized I need Silmeria.
I see you're ready.
Rufus.
You don't have to say it. I know.
Let's do it.
I think I understand where Alicia is coming from. In a way, Silmeria was all she had for a very long time. She sees her as a sister, as family. She never really had anyone else until recently, so she's willing to make one last sacrifice to rescue her and help her new family. Oh, Alicia, selfless to the end. But now it's time to ascend the last remaining areas of Lazard's tower. Afterwards, we reach one final area, to a very unexpected disturbing scene.
My love, you thought me lower than a snake, yet I have caught you. How angry that must make you feel. You puppets dance on the palm of a god. Are you excited? Fear not. Soon we shall be united as one.
The imagery of the quiet, dark hallway, with Lazard lusting over Lenneth and his accomplishments both frightened and sickened the hell out of me too. The second fight against Lazard needs some more strategy this time around. To save Lenneth, you have to deal 1,000 damage to Lazard, so that the seal on Lenneth's crystal prison weakens. but it doesn't last very long, so it's best to separate the team into two groups, one that attacks Lizard and the other that attacks the crystal. This requires a lot of AP management, and Lizard tends to teleport around the arena, but with a good enough strategy, Lenneth can be saved.
Lenneth!
The soul is reborn and summoned countless times. And beyond myriad rebirths, the demise of the soul awaits. Such is the cycle of causality.
Thank you, Alicia. To watch you become the brave figure you are now, at this moment, is the very reason I was reborn into you. I can feel it.
Ignorant human princess steals my dear Lenneth and throws my painstakingly prepared history into chaos and disarray. You will pay.
With the three Valkyries now fused together with Alicia, the one true Valkyrie is finally born, and the final battle against Lizard finally begins. Now this battle works differently from every other one. It's also a little anticlimactic considering how you have to approach this fight. Only Valkyrie can deal good damage to Lizard. Everyone else deals a small fraction, so the best course of action is to equip Valkyrie with good defensive skills and separate her from the party to be the primary damage dealer. You have to keep everyone else away and only bring them close to heal and provide some support. On top of that, you can't hit Lizard from the front. He counterattacks almost every time, so you have to run around his back and attack from there. And since you don't have everyone with you, you really don't have the chance to perform a soul crush on him. You basically just have to bring down his HP bit by bit. But I did Valkyrie Soul Crush anyway, just to show you guys.
Divine Assault!
Lenneth's spirit. Lenneth's soul. It all belongs to me!
Now die, you damned human!
A soul is something no other can possess.
A god is not as almighty as I expected.
Now you see. Nothing can rule another's heart. Nothing. You have toyed with countless souls. You have used Gungnir to wreak havoc and destruction on the world. For these sins you will pay with your soul.
I have lost.
Alicia? Alicia! Alicia. Alicia!
With Alicia's sacrifice, both the world and future are saved. Brahms can finally rest. Arngrim takes the responsibility of guarding the Dragon Orb, and Rufus, I guess, is gonna rule Asgard now.
Gungnir is the key. It needs to be returned for Asgard to be safe.
I doubt we undead would need battle the gods any longer if you were their king.
I wonder how old Freya will take it.
Well, hold on, this isn't the full ending yet. But there is something that I want to point out first. I see Odin and Lizard as almost two sides of the same coin. Sure, both of them had their own agenda and goals, but they both abused power to get what they wanted. They were willing to sacrifice anyone for all of their selfish desires, not caring about anyone else even if they were close to them. Besides, let's be real, Lizard spent most of the time with the party. He traveled with them, laughed with them, but all that mattered at the end were power and his desires. During some MCU-style after credits, we see the souls of the Valkyries going each their own separate way. Alicia has been reincarnated and given the chance to live a normal life with Rufus watching her and possibly even protecting her. Also, remember when I said earlier that this game has two endings? Now, I personally haven't seen it myself and I haven't tried it either, but apparently if you defeat Lizard with a party that doesn't have Valkyrie, supposedly a young Lizard can appear in this post-credit scene. If anyone can confirm this, please let me know in the comments. The ending also hints to a possible sequel, but we all know where that went. I'll give my final thoughts on it in a few moments, but there is one topic I want to touch on first. As of the recording of this video, there are only 2 ways to play Valkyrie Profile 2 Silmeria. You can emulate it, and while emulation has gotten easier over the years, it still requires time to set up and understand, so I can still see why people wouldn't want to go down that route. Or you can dust off that old PS2 and use original hardware. And if you don't own a copy of the game, you can hunt for it on eBay and hope that the disc still works. Plus, you'll need an HDMI adapter for your TV. There's a lot of things going in between. In other words, and what I'm trying to say is that, unfortunately, Valkyrie Profile 2 isn't officially accessible. And I gotta say, it's a damn shame, because I personally believe that older games should be preserved. Yes, even the bad ones. According to a 2023 study published by the Video Game History Foundation, 87% of classic games released in the United States are out of print. I'm not gonna do the math, but I'll just say, that's a lot of lost history. I'll leave a source to this study in the description box in case you want to read it. However, there might be one solution. Just keep in mind that this isn't a guarantee. Good Old Games, or GOG.com, have a game preservation program that they call Dream List. In short, you can submit a game to be voted on, and GOG will do their best to publish those games on their website. Look at that! Someone already submitted VP2. Would this only be a PC release? Sure. But at least for now it's something. I'll leave a link below, so please, go vote. Maybe this will convince Square Enix to do something. I'm personally not going to hold my breath on this one, but we did get Valkyrie Profile 1 on PS4 and PS5, so maybe one day they'll prove me wrong on this one. While the end of Valkyrie Profile 2 hinted a sequel, let's be real, that never happened. As far as I can tell, Covenant of the Plume is a prequel and is only available on the Nintendo DS. Then in 2022, we got Valkyrie Elysium, which is mostly a reimagining of the first game. I know that it wasn't received all that well. Personally, I didn't love it, but I didn't hate it. It was fine. I was more excited for it when I played the demo, because I was fairly excited for a general resurgence of the series, at least in some way. Again, it was okay. I know some people were hoping for more of a sequel, where you play as Hrist instead. Honestly, I also would have preferred that. Or maybe a good team-up game? I don't know, something between those lines. I guess what I'm trying to say is that I'm not expecting a revival of the series anytime soon. And I guess I'm kind of okay with that. I mean, if it were to happen, great. I am 100% all for it. But even though VP2 wasn't the last game, I somewhat see it as kind of a decent send-off. Personally, I'm not one to hold a grudge if a series doesn't come back. Will it anger me at first? Of course, but it would just be for a while. And on the other hand, I also see it as the opportunity to try something new. If you're not one of those people, nothing against you. I get it, but as of recording this video, I guess for now, I'm okay. Phew! God damn, this ended up being a longer video than I expected. First, I want to say sorry for taking so long with this one. You know, some life stuff got in the way, and for a while I wasn't sure what I wanted this channel to be. But as of recently, I just decided that I just want to talk about games that I like. Lord only knows that there are more than enough news channels, reviews channels, and channels that upload in like a daily basis. I don't want that. I don't want my hobby to feel like work. I just want to be a guy that likes games and likes to talk about games. Whether that be lore, mechanics, anything in between. I also really wanted to thank you guys. I saw the comments that asked about me during my absence, and it really meant a lot. They really inspired me to come back and make this video. Trust me when I say that I really appreciate you guys so damn much. The next series I'm thinking of tackling is the Dragon Quest franchise. It's kind of become my new obsession. I'll probably upload a couple of other videos in between, we'll see. But if you made it this far and want to see more videos, then please be sure to subscribe, comment, and like the video for the algorithm, and hit that notification bell for future content. I'm redoing all of my social media and probably gonna delete some accounts to focus on a particular audience. Maybe I'll go on Blue Sky, I don't know, we'll see. But if it does happen, I'll update you guys when that does occur so you can follow me there. Until then, thanks again, and have a good one, and I'll see you in the next video.